Twitch is under fire again, and its most recent wave of abuse allegations and includes accusations of systemic sexism, racism, and abuse directed at their employees, and this time, it's a different set of employees coming forward than those that spoke up earlier this year. Plus, Gamestop announces a Microsoft partnership to sell Xbox All Access in store, but is that enough to save the sinking ship? And OWL struggles get worse with the imploding of the Uprising and Gladiators roster, but there's a bright spot with our newly announced 7-figure deal with IBM. All that and more next on The Breakdown. It's Saturday and Worlds is still going on. Thanks a lot, TSM, for letting everybody down, and it's hard not to feel alive as an esports fan. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and as always, if you're looking for the latest in esports and video game news, make sure you drop that subscribe and hit the notification bell so we can keep bringing you the news you care about straight to your inbox. So much to cover, so let's jump into the news. Twitch staff call company out for racism, sexual assault, and more. No, you're not experiencing deja vu. Twitch is back in the headlines again for negative allegations from its employees about what some described as a toxic and dangerous work environment that included some pretty horrific accusations that first started cropping up back in June of this year, but are now being revived with stories from more employees, both current and former. 16 employees have stepped forward to bring to light what they call years of sexual assault, sexism, harassment, and racism by some of the company's top brass. These issues have apparently pervaded the company since its early days, back when it was still called Justin.tv, and include allegations of a definite bias where women weren't given the same opportunities as men, female coworkers being forced to kiss male coworkers, groping, top executives slut-shaming female streamers on the platform, and one woman even being spat on by a coworker after being called a slur. Now, the part that always makes things like this much more complicated. Many of the charges levied at Twitch are years old. Twitch has profusely stated that they take things of this nature very seriously, and that they are dedicated to building safe communities. But if something is founded on mistreating workers, is that an institution that deserves respect and understanding back? An early employee reported that women were constantly referred to as bitches, and even highlighted how the eventual future VP of partnerships, John Howell, was well known throughout the company for his Twitter handle @JohnsFatCock. He eventually changed it after pressure from corporate, but is that something you should really have to force somebody to change? A lot of this seemed to start at least attempting to be addressed around the time that Amazon purchased Twitch in 2014. But even then, it only went so far, apparently, as the sometimes anti-women stance has led to Twitch banning, suspending, or warning female streamers for breastfeeding, body painting, wearing workout clothes at the gym, or even just cosplaying as Chun-Li from Street Fighter. All while internally, the corporate structure referred to certain female streamers like Casey Tron as booby streamers. And even more, one employee alleged that she was forced to continue working with a male coworker that had sexually assaulted her, even after reporting it to Twitch HR, and was told to, quote, show him some respect. And this is all not even talking about the fact that internally hate speech was dismissed as teenagers being edgy and thus not a serious problem. There's just so much here, and it would be hard to cover everything brought forward in the really revealing report published by Games Industry yesterday, so we've got a link in the article in the description below. I don't know what the solution is, and frankly, I don't even know how pervasive it is today still. But what I can say is that gaming is a place where people should be allowed to go, both as streamers and workers, and not be subject to harassment, racist slurs, or hell, smearing poop all over the walls after management cut off free liquor on Friday nights. Seriously, that's a thing that happened. All I can say is that if Twitch is going to continue to be an industry leader, they are going to have to get their own house in order before Jeff Bezos continues his plans of world domination, one Minecraft streamer at a time. GameStop announces Microsoft partnership to sell Xbox All Access. Can this save GameStop? GameStop have announced they have entered a multi-year strategic partnership with Microsoft, allowing them to sell Xbox All Access in stores and more. The press release details how the 5,000 plus video game retail chain will now standardize the company's business operations on Microsoft's cloud solutions and hardware products and yada, 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 yada. This is to make it the ultimate gaming destination, again, according to the press release. But specifically, this means GameStop will use Microsoft software for everything, from communicating via email, point of sale, all of it. They're even making the employees use Microsoft Surface tablets because hail the corporate overlords. And it's kind of weird. But the biggest point of all of this is that GameStop's going to be selling that all-important Xbox All Access payment program. This allows a user to buy an Xbox Series X or S and 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate for $24.99 a month over 24 months. But outside of all the corporate lingo, is this enough for regular people to start shopping at GameStop again? For years, they've been bleeding out, and even the recent acquisition of former Nintendo of North America president Reggie Fils-Aimé to join the company's board of directors didn't bump any normal person's opinion of the brand up. This could be an outside runaround, however, by Microsoft. According to some big brain analysts, this could just be a way for Microsoft to get their tentacles into the company before it goes belly up in bankruptcy. And they may be right. Changing the infrastructure of the stores themselves isn't going to be bringing in more customers to their brick and mortar stores. And that's where they're really getting their clocks cleaned. So if Microsoft gets in now, could we eventually see stores that would refuse to sell games that are housed on the Sony PlayStation? Anything's possible in 2020. I'm sure we're just dying to all run to a GameStop now that they have those slick Microsoft Surface tablets though, right? OWL troubles worsen as rosters blow up again. IBM deal a single bright spot. The grand finals of the Overwatch League 2020 are going on, with Seoul Dynasty and plenty of other teams that you never thought would make a run being up there in the grand champion slot. And while things are looking great for teams on top of the mountain, things are much, much worse for the other teams at the bottom. We've talked about the London Spitfire canning their entire rosters, and now we have even more implosions happening across the league, with the Los Angeles Gladiators letting 4 players go earlier in the week, and then announcing on Thursday that they would be releasing their coach Curry's shot as well. The Boston Uprising also wanted to join the party by parting ways with its main support Halo and main tank Mikey, and just days ago removed their head coach in favor of a new hire, moving their former head coach to a management role, while other coaching staff have left in search of new opportunities. And all of this isn't even mentioning that the OWL lost their second commissioner in the span of about a year, filling the open position with the CDL's most recent commissioner, Johanna Ferries. It seems like people have just lost interest in Overwatch ever since the switch from Twitch to YouTube, and that may be something that is still salvageable. And that is buoyed by the recent deal the Overwatch League cut with IBM as they enter into an analytics and sponsorship deal which runs through the 2022 season. IBM jumped quickly into the pool as they were the presenting partner for the grand finals, and are currently developing tools to help the league process in-game data, produce more accurate ranking information, and just bring the league up to par with other esports like CSGO and League of Legends. This is a big get for the Overwatch League, and for IBM, it's clearly more about the opportunity to use its AI and cloud-based infrastructure to develop esports data tools than it is to be a presenting partner or sponsor. Will this help stave off any future disasters within the Overwatch League? It's not locked up, but having a mega giant like IBM behind you will for sure help to stop some of the recent bleeding the league has been experiencing. Are you a fan of one of the teams that have been making serious roster changes? Tell us how you feel about it by tweeting it to us at CheckpointXP. That's it for the news today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We are always posting brand new content here on our YouTube channel, but did you know that Checkpoint XP is the only syndicated radio show in over 70 cities across the US and Canada that talks exclusively esports and video games? If you go to our website at checkpointxp.com, you can see where we're airing and if we're in a city near you. My name's Weirdbeard, and Super Mario 35 was enjoyable for about 10 games.